Here I am. I'm basically telling you, describing it to you, and letting you know that I am here to be a servant of humanity. I, I am the leader that this nation's been looking for a very long time. I have such a desire to become close with fellow human beings that if I do not do something about it, it hurts me in a way, and there's a type of pressure that it's like not being able to breathe. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I saw this on InfoWars. Alex was describing this, God bless his soul. He was basically talking about the other day a human being, a helpless human being who was a victim of police brutality. Just a homeless man who was completely unarmed and not trying to fight back, and he was basically beaten to a pulp and basically beaten to death and died in the hospital of a heart attack, and the cops got away with it. And just watching this video was just literally like watching just um, a bunch of, I don't even know what to call it. It's like I would relate it to like a bear eating a deer, but bears don't even treat deer like these policemen treated this poor, helpless, homeless man. They were literally like feeding off of the suffering. They literally just beat him just enough so he's barely alive, and they just kind of stood there and looked at him like, oh, what do we do now? What do we do now? That we beat him so much that his spirit is just destroyed and mangled, and all they do is just watch him. They don't, and just watching that just makes me wanna. I mean, I have such a desire to fight for the protection of the defenseless that it's in my blood, and I feel like it's my fault that I couldn't help this homeless guy. All I had to do, I feel like if I was just a day earlier, if I had just posted out who I was and just posted out, let people know that I am I am a leader toward the leader of promoting good health and promoting the prosperity of humanity, and if I just let people know that a day earlier, maybe I could have just affected someone who was walking by that homeless man. He could have just felt having such a joyous day because I may have somehow affected that human being's life to the point where she or he was just able to give like $1 or some change to this helpless man, because it's all about being connected and having trust for another human being. And just a random act of kindness could have given that, allowed another human being to give that money to the homeless man, which he would have probably spent on something, allowing him to remove from the location that he was in, allowing him to live. Allowing him to live at that moment. I could have, all I had to do was just, it takes one human being to change the world. It takes one leader to make a difference. And it takes constant action to, how can I say this in a way that people can understand? It just takes one action to make a difference. I guess that's just the easiest way to let people to realize that. And I get so into wanting to help humanity that people think I'm crazy because I can't sleep. I don't want to eat until I get something done first that I want to do to that's pretty cool, to get my point across, that it's really important that we get people to know what the truth is, the difference between truth and fraud, and how it's affecting their lives. I have the ability to affect everyone's life in a great positive way. I'm here to say that you will never be lonely now. You will never, ever, ever be alone. You will never basically have the thought that there's no reason to move on. I'm basically here to say that you now have a purpose. I have given you purpose. You now have a reason to stay stay alive, stay motivated, and stay active and never be bored. Because there's now a way that you can not only gain entertainment, but gain prosperity and love and friendship by connecting with me, by connecting with fellow human beings, by gaining the trust that we are always meant to have. And you will realize that pushing people away will only push yourself away from yourself. It will only alienate yourself further, and it's only going to crush you in ways you may or may not understand. So why would you push people away? Why would you not just believe in the trust that we literally feed off of? I mean, we love having friends and we love having family, because that means a lot to us. And that's the only thing that no matter what, those huge, fraudulent, money-loving, materialistic-loving, I don't even know what to call them. I seriously don't even know what to call them, because they're just such the opposite of humanity and so evil, groveling. Ugh! I don't know what to call them, but those type of people who strive for the destruction of you versus the type of people like me and Alex Jones and Ron Paul and David Knight and Anthony Gucciardi and Edward Group, and it goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on, and all of these great people and leaders. And there's a difference between those who live for life and versus those who live for decay. And the people who live for life are so strong at heart and so strong in mind and spirit to fight against corruption that we overcome obstacles and goals, we overcome challenges that we never thought we could overcome before. Like looking back on our lives, if we realize that our weakness is our weakness and we take that and allow it to build us up, allow us to build us and become stronger, then we realize we can become way stronger from everything that makes us weak. That's what it means that's how we human beings grow. And if we instead just replace like grovel to weakness, if we just indulge in weakness, trying to run away from weakness instead of embracing it, then we'll never know what it's like to have strength. We'll never know what it's like to grow. And we'll constantly be running away, and not only pushing ourselves away, but pushing others around us away from literal access to becoming a human being. So what I'm here to do is you're never. What I'm here to say is you're never alone anymore, because now I am the leader that's here to push you to what you can become versus what you can't be. I'm not here to be like the bureaucrats or the elitists that do everything in their power to corrupt you and take away everything that means something to you. I'm not here to use technology. I'm saying what you already have in your capacity. The only thing you need is your body. And as long as that's intact, then you're protected. And people have forgotten that their mind, like for example, turtles have shells for protection. Bears have claws and fierce strength for protection. Gazelles have speed. What do humans have? Humans have their minds for protection. That's what people forget, and people have forgotten how important it is to protect it. And if you don't protect it, then you're gonna sacrifice security for freedom. That's just the blatant truth. If you don't protect your mind, you would be willing to sacrifice security for freedom. And if you don't protect your mind, you are going to be unprotected, and things are going to infiltrate you, and that's just bad. Once you realize you can protect your mind, you'll want to protect yourself, what it means to be a human being. You'll want to protect others around you that you trust and love and care for. And you're going to love and trust and care for everyone you come in contact with, to the point that you want and trust and care for every human being that's on this planet. to the point that all you want to do is just love, have that feeling of success, because it's even stronger when you share it with others. When you give to the point of servitude where you love to live for the surface of others, then you can't stop. And that's what I feel. I feel to the point that if I have the ability to change someone's life for the better, that I'm not going to hide that information. I'm not going to hide that the truth from people, that they can allow their lives to be better in truly incredible ways. And that's what the difference between corrupt people and truly enlightened people. They're willing to do everything in their power, unlike the corrupt technocracy who's using their money and their power, and they're being for their own benefit. They're using all their technology to rule us, to control us, not to rule with us, not to bring everyone up. And that's what's really sad and depressing. And that's what literally gets me down so much that it's like, why do you people exist? How can you survive off of the destruction of other human beings? How does your soul get so hardened and your heart gets so hardened that you're just willing to benefit yourself at the cost and destruction of others? I can't live that way. I just can't. I tried it. There's no benefit to degrading other human beings. There's no benefit to that. There's no benefit in gaining materialistic items when it's the human beings that make worth having the materialistic items. It's like for me, video games isn't fun anymore if I don't have a friend or someone I truly care about playing with it. Money doesn't matter to me if I don't get to spend it on someone who wants to share the same feeling that we share. I don't know how to explain it to trendies. I'm sorry. I just don't know. I know you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I just can't think in any other way than for the service of humanity. I'm sorry. I want to help you. I'm sorry that all I want to do is just wake up at 2 a.m. and literally write songs and make music and create ideas and write paragraph after paragraph after paragraph of ways that I can help people, and just constantly be on the thought of wanting to create an environment that's beneficial to humanity. I can't think in any other way. I'm sorry that all I want to do is help you. And I'm sorry that if you feel like I'm trying to go against you. I mean, like, I'm sorry you feel that way, and I'm just happy and glad that someday you're gonna talk exactly like the way I'm talking, and you're gonna think exactly the way I think. And I look forward to the day that your mind becomes open and clear, and that you see the world and see human beings in the same way that men see them, the same way that George Washington saw this country, the same way that Alex Jones and Ron Paul and the leaders of humanity see this country. And I'd say their names a lot because they're really important people, and they're just the stepping stones to the connection of human beings and the connection of trust. And that's why they're great people, because they're willing to face the fear that not a lot of men are willing. Sorry, let me rephrase that. They're willing to face the fear that not a lot of people are willing to face. I will not call you men if you're not standing up for what's right. I will not call you a man. I will not call you something that you are not because of something you are not willing to admit. If you're not willing to admit that you're wrong, if you're not willing to admit that the world is not a good place as you think it should be, and if you're not willing to admit that you have made mistakes, then you're just there's nothing you can do to win. There's nothing you can do to win. Nothing you're going to do is allow yourself to win because you're not accepting the fact that you have that. Dude, how do I say this nicely? I